Hello, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I am delighted to welcome Alan and Rim from Lugosi. How are you, lads?
All right, Richie. All very good.
All present and
Thank
correct.
God, I thought his internet was fucked again. And I've got my co-host as well, Howard. How are you, man?
How are we doing? Good to see everybody.
Yeah, imagine it's today's Wednesday, is it, or Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
Oh, it's hard to tell.
Isn't it hard to tell? For fuck's sake! I know it's not the weekend anyway. So cheers anyway, boys, and thanks for coming on the show. Beers.
Your health and your
Cheers. What year is it?
We discussed this, Neil. It's Lugosi's year.
It's Lugosi's year.
You could have picked a better fucking year, lads, in fairness.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
We are generally faster and so on. So fucking 2020 and 2021, fucking you couldn't be more Lugosi than that. Pure fucking.
Which one of you bought the coffin case?
Yeah, quite. That was me, Richie. That was me. I got a call from Eamon down in Some Neck Guitars, which is an amazing shop. And he saw it and he went, "Yeah, you'll like this." So I went down and he even gave me a tenner back for luck.
Have you seen it, Howard?
Yeah, it's the shit. It's quite depressing if you walk past the house and see the coffin there, but it's amazing.
I haven't seen it, no, but it sounds interesting.
Pure indulgence and fuck it, fair fucks to you, man.
I love it. Fucking indulge yourself in these weird fucking times. I think that it's one of the few things we have left is to indulge ourselves. So yeah, I'm all for the.
It is right.
The weirder the better.
You're right. I'm doing the rest of this with my pants off because
Does that put pressure on you, Alan, to get one now?
No, just pressure to keep on knocking out killer riffs.
I can understand that, man.
You look like a man under pressure, and Alan, you do.
Bro.
I'm seriously collapsing under the pressure. It's so. It's good to have a challenge in these unchallenged.
You look like you look like Rambo just fucked the man from Del Monte.
Good luck. That's the best compliment I've had ever. Jesus.
And did you treat yourself, Alan? Did you treat yourself at all over the last few months? Gear-wise?
As much fine dining as I can. Well, I did. I bought a motorbike last year. I've put it off for fucking years. I've wanted a motorbike my entire life. There was always something fucking else that was just the priority, for the cash. Because I've never been swimming in money where I could go buying cars, motorbikes, and various other things, So anyways, last year I just said, fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm getting the bike. Got me lessons done nice and quick over 3 weekends, and I'll be pissing around Dublin on the bike. Great fucking time.
What'd you purchase? What make?
I'm
going to get slated here. Go on, say again.
What did you buy?
A 2005 Honda CBF 500. So it's a nice machine.
Okay.
It can ferry my 19 stone around at a reasonable pace. And,
useless for carrying gear, though.
Oh, absolutely useless. If we have an out-of-town gig, I'll give Neil my guitar, and then I stick my pedals in my backpack.
Nice. Nice.
So
if we have a gig.
If we have a gig, yeah.
I think Richie meant over lockdown had you bought the nice gear for the band. Like I bought a new microwave a few months ago, but I didn't.
Context is very important, already.
We're going to use it as a prop. I'm gonna decorate it.
I think so.
I'm going to put Lugosi emblems and stuff on the motorbike. It's going to be, So if you see the motorbike coming to your town soon.
I did that to my microwave already.
As I smell a music video, a microwave and a motorbike sounds like a perfect match,
Oh, you want the credit for that? You can't. You're not going to get it because I thought that shit up.
But, I brought myself a bit of gear for the band. I got a radio cable for a radio rig for the guitar. So now when I'm getting off
Medium
stage,
mic.
I'm not, we generally get off stage, or I do anyway, and Neil does, and JM. We spend a lot of time off stage, so now I'm not limited to 20 feet of my my guitar cable, and not worried about getting cables pulled out either. So yeah,
I bought one myself about 3 years ago, and it's by far the best thing I've ever bought.
Yeah,
those radios, it's just that tangled stuff and just being able to walk around the place. It's amazing.
It is.
It's the best thing you've ever bought.
ever. And I mean that.
I have to get one of these.
These things are just like life-changing.
I have to get one.
Oh, they're so simple. Go in, you set up, walk around, go for a little wander. None of this tangling around your leg or pulling the fucking lead out.
I did one gig.
I automatically think of Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap, get them in the fucking, they keep on picking up the taxi drivers and shit.
That hasn't happened yet.
Have you picked up in fucking
That's it for Friday there, lads.
I had one gig in Ballina, and the stage is right beside the toilets. So during a stage of the song, I followed a lady into the bathroom for the guitar solo.
Jesus Christ.
The crowd loved it, and as did the girl. The girl was just standing there. Well, she was kind of dancing at the same time, but she was laughing and watching this guitar solo happen with this strange man in the bathroom. So I've been doing a lot more of that now with the radio rig, for sure.
So you see a lot more of you in women's bathrooms.
It was just It coincided with Alan buying that video mic where the Me Too movement kicked in.
No, it's not
Just random guys following you into toilets with a Les Paul.
It's not Me Too, it's She Too. The victims won't talk about it. They're way too ashamed. Someone else has to go, he was in the jacks with her. You know. So it's the new She Too movement.
Yeah, I saw Nirvana in Cork, and name dropping, but I don't give a fuck because he had one of those, and he disappeared into, when the gig finished, he disappeared into Shandor's nightclub. So there was like the two doors swung open and Kurt went in, and there was just this fucking couple disco dancing. We were all up the front fucking soaked, and this couple just looked, and the door shut, like that was the end of Kurt, but you could hear the guitar still inside, and he was trying to play the fucking...
Jesus Christ.
I think it might have been the Bee Gees, so he was trying to play that on the guitar, and that's how the Nirvana gig ended in Sir Henry's in Cork, man.
Oh, man.
I've seen two things that were...
I went to see...
Oh my God. Go on.
I went to see Supergrass. I went to see Supergrass in Wembley in the conference hall in like 2001, 2002, something like that. Halfway through the gig, they walk off stage and they were getting filmed, and they all were wireless. They get into a limo at the back of the hall. They drive around the block and then come back onto the stage. Which is pretty sweet.
There, Neil, do you remember we went to see, this is not a street story, but it's an off-the-stage story. Remember we went to see Baby Godzilla? How fucking good was that? Have you two lads seen Baby Godzilla or heard of it? They're fucking amazing. They were just brilliant.
They've changed their names since then.
Have they?
Yeah, they've changed their names since
Go on, what are they? What kind of style of music?
Yeah, they were Savage bands.
More, it's like hardcore, but very heavy. And they'd all their gear. They make their equipment. Basically, they're constantly destroying their equipment. So they cannibalize guitar necks and fucking drum shells and all kinds of stuff from all over the place. And they do the gig, and the guitar player's off stage fucking straight away. He's down there. He's in the middle of the fucking crowd, giving it socks, and they're loving it. Singer comes down and joins him, and there's this interchange with the front guys, you know what I mean, coming on and off stage. And then at the end of the fucking gig, the drummer comes off stage. They moved the entire drum kit into the they start they threw their fucking cabs off the stage. They brought their own, thank God, because JC wouldn't be putting up with that and Fibbers. And they destroyed the cabs, and they're smashing the cabs into the guitars. They're smashing the skin.
Christ.
on the drums. Eventually, there's just a singer screaming. I think the guitar was still plugged in, and it was just on the ground, and he was dancing on it. And the drummer only had his snare drum left. I didn't see
the drummer had a ripped snare left, and he was hitting that, but they still sounded good.
Neil, did somebody run up and they put their fucking foot through his last drum, and that was the end of the gig?
Fuck me.
Not familiar with them at all. I must check them out. Baby Godzilla.
And it wasn't me.
Where are they from, lads?
They're from the UK. They shone very brightly. They were featured in Kerrang a few times, and they changed their name after that. What's that song they had? Well, if you just stick Baby Godzilla into YouTube, the videos will come up. But they're savage, man. Absolutely savage.
Jesus Christ. So I suppose we better talk about your band, lads. You know, it's that kind of show, though, isn't it? You know, we'll just disappear down.
Band? Oh, that band.
We'll disappear down a few rabbit holes, man, and there's nothing planned. But you've been together for 5 years, is that right? Around that time?
It is. Neil, when was the original concept?
Yep.
Put the band together. So I'll let him.
Okay, so how did you all meet up?
It was well, I live in Inchicore. I live in Inchicore.
It's real dub accent, yeah.
10 doors down from me is my mate JM. And he was in a band.
Where's JM from?
But we. He's from Sligo.
Ah, the accent. Fuck it, I apparently guessed.
Yeah. No, he's from JM is from a place called Fisher's Island off the coast of New York.
He's American.
And he was living here, and he has a
my God.
jazzy. I know. Do you know what annoys me is when he sings, he tries to sound Irish, which really gets my wick.
How dare you, like?
It's really annoying, those fucking American singers that have an American accent, man.
Speaking his own accent.
The Americans coming over here, singing in their own accents,
stealing our
their
fucking
nylon
singers,
stockings and their cheap.
Appropriating our language.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, trying to blend into the local culture and then getting slated for it.
Going for that American accent dollar, you know.
Fuck it. Okay, so
exactly.
They've picked up on it probably.
So anyway, JM's a dear friend of mine, and I also play a bit of jazz and a bit of stuff. He plays a bit of bluesy stuff, and we had two bands that would just be playing all around town. And I said to him drunkenly years ago, we should do something kind of punky, kind of rock metal type thing. And he was totally into it. And we were going to get a guy called Tim Fernie who plays bass with Queensryche. Well, the version of Queensryche that your man has going now. But Tim ended up moving to the States, and he was going to play bass. So I thought, I'll play bass. JM can do a bit of singing. We need a guitarist. And I have known Alan since I moved to Dublin from Belfast for 15 years. And I know he was dynamite, and we thought we'd do something cool. When I say dynamite, he's like bluesy dynamite. He's not like an Yngwie dynamite. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But he's savage, and it was just gonna work. So I had to show him some kind of stoner riffage and some kind of stuff. And I just pushed him like a young child into the world, and he's blossomed. Look at him! Look at him!
It's all true. I wish I could deny any of that, but
for once you're quiet, Howard. Classic. And Alan, were you into that music anyway, or what's your background? Is it blues?
Yeah, kind of blues rock. I've liked all kinds of music, but my two loves, three loves: hard rock, metal, and blues. So we ended up doing when I joined the band with Neil and JM. We ended up doing Misfits covers and Clutch covers.
Ah, okay.
That for me was very challenging because you know yourself, the blues is straightforward. You have your 12-bar blues set up.
Yeah.
Well, next all, it's fucking Misfits, and you do your A section 4 times the first time, and you do it 3 times the second time, and then you do it 5 times, or not at all ever again. It was all over the fucking place. and that for me was weird. And then exactly the same with Clutch. They don't have a solid structure, So that was a good education for me. Also very riffy. Really love Clutch from the start. Hearing them, that's so up my fucking alley musically. Love Neil Fallon's voice. Love the lyrics. The music backing it up is just, that's 100% good for me. So yeah, so really enjoyed it.
It's not a million miles off the blues anyway, if anything.
Yeah, well,
no, not particularly. I don't think.
Not so much in structure, although blues can be fairly loose as well. But anyway, but yeah, the fundamentals of it, it's blues rock. So
the band that came to mind when I was listening was Soylent Green. I don't know if you've ever heard those guys. They had a couple of hits there in the 90s. Three Little Pigs was their 96 hit or something like that. And it reminded me very much of when I first listened to you there when Richie sent me the link. It was like this kind of storytelling style, kind of tongue-in-cheek storytelling style, and this groove.
Green jelly.
Green jelly. Yes. There you go.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I remember those lads. I remember those guys.
It was the first thing that came to mind when I was listening to you during the week.
Right. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh well. They were a total one-hit wonder, weren't they?
Totally, yeah.
Three Little Pigs.
In a decent enough album, but Three Little Pigs was by far the standout track,
Yeah. Hopefully we're not that much fucking like them.
Yeah, it was.
You've progressed further than that anyway. You're going good.
It was around the same.
It's a compliment. It totally is.
It was around the same time as that United States of Whatever single, which is like one of the best songs of all time.
Yes, Liam Lynch. Yeah.
Liam Lynch, man.
Rim, were you more?
That's just the best song ever.
Were you more punk based, or did you say that you like a bit of jazz as well?
I'm I guess a bit of a kind of an enigma, Richie. I would say the word for me.
Enigma is good.
If I may be so bold. No, mate, to be honest, I just love all good music. Unless it's really bad northern country and western. It has to be northern country and western.
God almighty, the worst of the worst.
Do you know what I mean? I remember staying in a hotel in Donegal, and they had posters up in the toilets for the upcoming gigs. And for what I could see from the first poster to Infinity was like the names like Big Jackie McNamara and his horseshoe fucking, and you'd be like, oh Jesus. And this would be every night. They're addicted to it. It's like crack. It's, I don't know, but that I can't stand that stuff.
But
I love good jazz music. I'm a big Cliff Burton fan. Like love Metallica, like the early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you my Danzig, Misfits, Cro-Mags, Metallica, Fu Manchu. But Fu Manchu would probably be my favorite band. Ghost, All Them Witches, Blood Ceremony, Slayer, Megadeth, Kiss, Alice Cooper.
And
all that good stuff. Queen.
Out of all those,
that's kind of my thing.
Out of all those bands, then you're kind of more or less fascinated. Is it with the basses with a lot of those? Since you play bass yourself, or no? I could be completely wrong. You could be one of those fucking guys that's a guitarist that has to play bass. Or are you just a full-on bassist? More so.
Yeah. A lot of the time, I play a lot of guitar. I play a lot of guitar on the new album, but. Like the bass for me is I also play a bit of drums, which is the most fun of any of the instruments. I don't care who you are, drumming is the best. But bass playing, when you've been playing guitar for a few days and when you've got 2 kids and a dog and a wife, when you get that me time, it's guitar. But really the bass is like going to Thunderland. It's like the bass is the shit. When you hear a really, really good bass player, it just inspires you. So bass playing is it's become my number one thing, and I absolutely love playing bass. I've got to say.
And what's your favorite?
Cliff Burton, Steve Harris, fucking.
What's your favorite bass then? Is it Fender or Rickenbacker or one of those? Or okay,
I've got a Fender P bass, which I love. I am having a bit of a cheeky look at a Rickenbacker 5-string.
Oh,
just because I quite like that low B, and I quite like Rick necks. But any Rickenbacker I've ever played, I haven't really liked, but I love the sound of them. I absolutely. I mean, you've got to listen to that Cliff Burton stuff. The first two albums when he's playing that Rickenbacker, it just wails. Yeah. It is unreal. But I know he had a DiMarzio Super Distortion or something in it as well, some weird pickup kind of thing going on. So he could just make it wail when you watch that Cliff Amal thing. It's just the first time I saw that, Richie, like coming back from school, 15 years old, seeing him playing in San Francisco, and then there's OK Cliff, the major rager, and the 4-string motherfucker. Yeah. He just kicks on that fucking wah-wah pedal. Man, that's seminal. That's like seeing Django Reinhardt playing in a wee bar in Paris. Yeah. Or Keith Moon, you know. It's just fucking incredible when you see a real expert, and then it just when you get a bass player like that, you base your life about trying to be that way. And I think in some ways it's going to be amazing for your technique and stuff. But to have that at that young age, it's just like touched by God. Yeah. I don't know how the fuck he did it, but he did.
Yeah, I'm a bass fanatic myself, but I don't know what I hate is when I see basses that kind of look like lead guitars, the Gibson with the fucking bass strings on it, like Angus Young's one with a bass, 4 strings on it. An
EB3.
Jesus, lads.
Those basses suck. Gibson made the Gibson Grabber, the one that Gene Simmons played, which is actually a really good bass, but they don't make good basses, they really don't. Music Man, Fender, Rick, that's probably the ones I would venture towards. Dean makes some quite nice basses as well.
Yeah.
But
they make a nice,
each to their own.
They make a nice flying V acoustic. Do you remember who was your man we used to go see?
Yes.
Oh,
a flying V bass as well. Fuck off, you know. No, you know. Jesus Christ.
I can see one behind. I can actually see a nice bass behind you, Richie. I think I can see
that's the first bass, my favorite bass. I've played it since day one.
But it's funny hearing you talking about Cliff Burton.
What's that, lads?
Yeah.
He's gone. Or is it me?
I don't know. I can hear you, Howard. Yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
Howard.
Yeah, it's just when you're talking about Cliff Burton there, and it's kind of hard these days to remember how impactful that was. It's just when you were talking about it, I remember hearing Cliff Burton when I was 14, 15 as well, just like yourself, and having my fucking mind blown as to what was going on, just that sound that was coming out of the fucking thing. And it's something you don't really hear much of anymore in terms of a thing that catches your attention like that. That really was something, and it really was kind of, as you said, seminal, because it turned heads and people were like, what the fuck is this? It was something you didn't really hear before, but now you've heard a million albums just like it, and no one's really captured that impact that it had at that time.
And Lemmy as well, to be fair, with that fucking bass sound as well.
It's so true. Lemmy had an incredible tone. I think Cliff tried to get that tone going to a degree, and then kind of just finessed it. But if you watch the stuff that Cliff was doing with Big Sick Jim Martin when he was in Trauma in school, I'm sure you've watched that, man.
Yes.
Like even back then, if you were a kid sitting in that going, this guy, like the entire, I mean, the thing that people forget is Metallica moved lock, stock, and barrel to San Francisco to get Cliff. They moved everything to get him into the band. So, I mean, unfortunately, my band didn't do that with me. They were just like, fuck, he's handy, he lives up the road.
On about bass, it's actually Nick Oliveira and G have signed to his independent label for distribution. And that was just such a great thing to see, lads. How did that come about? Big shout out to Room Vibes. And is it... Who's behind that?
Thanks, Richie.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a kind of it was kind of serendipitous. Before this all happened, we were playing a gig in the Thomas House, and there was a load of the guys. I don't know if you're familiar with the band. What they're called? What's that band called? The guys. Everybody. There's different chapters.
Oh fuck. Shit. I'm the worst person to ask. I have a terrible memory for names. Okay. Turbo.
Okay.
It was a Tribune Negro.
Turbo Negro.
Guys organising it.
So we were playing a gig. I don't know if you know the whole thing about Turbo Negro, but it's a bit like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's chapters all over the world, and an Italian bunch will organise a Turbo Negro tribute, and people from all over the world will go to Italy to see this because they can't see Turbo Negro, maybe because they're not gigging. So there's one in Dublin. It's called Tribune Negro. It was in the Thomas House. Anyway, long story short, great gig. And after I was chatting to this guy Jason, who had seen coming in, he was in a wheelchair at the time. He was on crutches at the time. He had a real bad skin accent or something. So me and him were like brothers from another mother, same age. He lives out in the desert, in Los Angeles, and knows everybody. Knows the guys from Fu Manchu. Knows Nick Oliveri. So Bram Bjork knows all those guys. We hit it off. I talked to him, and he got in touch with Nick Oliveri. They released a single for him recently, and Jason on Ruin Vibes said, "Listen, if I can help you in any way, let me hear it. If it's shit, I won't help you, but if it sounds all right, yeah." So I sent it over to him. We had a good chat, and he loves it. And they're going to be sending in copies around, and we're under the Ruin Vibes label in the States, which is fucking unheard of.
Wow.
He knows all these really fucking cool people, but he saw our gig and he fucking loved it.
He saw you play as well. Okay, he would have had to surely before signing.
Yeah.
And was that? Did he have to come back for that gig, or?
Oh no, I think.
Oh no, not Nick. It was Jason from Ruin Vibes. Nick Oliveri wasn't there. Yeah, Jason was there. And he saw us playing and loved it. So, yeah, that was it. And onwards and upwards. Hopefully, when things are back to normal again, we might try and get over there.
What we saying, Alan?
Shout out to Hannes, who organised the gig, and he's probably going to be watching this. Lovely chap from Sweden, fucking diehard punk and metal fan, and yeah, he's one of the organisers of that every year.
Wow. Jesus, so there's a whole Turbo Negro network across the world.
And also, actually, he had another guy there. Hannes is he's a proper evangelist for bands. Like he brought a guy over from Sweden. Hannes is from Sweden. He brought a mate of his who runs a festival over in Sweden, and he brought him over to see us. Yeah. And
Great.
I loved us as well. So, it's not necessarily who It's if you know fucking decent people, it's a big fucking help. And people who will do things for themselves. And try. To say they create a tide that lifts all boats.
Yes, it's a great saying.
Like yourself, Richie. Just to do a little bit about
the band. Yeah.
Cheers, man. Glad to hear.
The band that were playing, the band that were playing the night that we were playing, were a band called Slumdog Millionaire, who were like real sleazy kind of LA rock and roll band, leather, but like fucking a slightly Motorheadish actually, and very very cool. So that's their kind of vibe. So the Turbo Negro bands will have tribute bands all over this great world. And they'll go to Brazil 1 month. They'll go to Italy 1 month. They'll go to Spain another month. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, you'd always see people at festivals, especially abroad, with Turbo Negro fucking back patches. Jesus Christ, I think I've listened to them maybe once or twice. I haven't even a clue what fucking genre of music they play.
heavy as fuck.
Okay. Isn't it always just, there's always one or two bands that go past you that see in festivals and you go, fuck, I must always check them out.
Of course.
And that's one of them, and you're going, nah, I know nothing about them.
I'm totally unaware of Flip This. Jesus, this has gone totally over my head. But the more you say it, the more it's kind of ringing a bell. I've definitely heard of it, but I've never stopped to take the time to engage with what it actually is, you know?
Great name as well.
Well, I'll give you a quick synopsis of what their gigs look like. When this band were playing the Thomas House, the year before we played, I was just in the Thomas House. God bless the Thomas House, by the way, Dublin, big shout out. I was standing having a beer at the front door, and a man who was clearly too big to be wearing hot pants because he was about 22 stone, with a huge droopy moustache, a sailor hat, and a boob tube, and eye makeup. And I was going, all right, how's it going? And he was going, yeah. I said, what are you here for? And he said, oh, we're here for the Turbo Negro. That's okay. And then I was saying to Kevin, what is this? What is this? So he said, no, follow me. So I went down the stairs. The entire place had been tin-foiled. They'd inside a Christmas turkey, right? The entire building downstairs. Strobe lights and just real heavy rock and roll.
Fuck
I
me,
was like, I don't know anything about this, but I'm really interested.
You're never too big for hot pants. You're never too big for hot pants. No way.
We did two gigs for these guys. The first year was the Turbo Negro tribute. We're setting up with the support acts. I'm getting my guitar ready, and a fellow runs up and he's like, when are you starting? I was like, oh, about 5 minutes. Okay. And he runs to the bar. And he's like, fuck, I see him shouting, two, and he orders 2 pints, and he gets his 2 pints, and he runs back, and he puts his 2 pints on top of my cab, and then he drops his pants, and he's back in front of the fucking gig with his pants, trousers around his ankles for the whole gig, and that's Turbo Negro, you know.
Okay, fuck
I mean, was wearing boxer shorts.
Pretty much all you need to know.
Sign me up. Just
See, Howard, you need to tour with Lugosi. The Magnapina needs to tour.
I think
Magnapina needs to tour with Lugosi.
I think it would be a marriage of atrocities. I think we should totally do this because we're in the same ballpark here, like.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it, yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh big time.
Yeah, man.
Oh fuck, we'll have to organise something because
we'll do anything.
I think we'll surprise each other, you know.
I've seen a couple of your videos. Howard, you had is that the follically challenged guy still on your drums? The singer?
Yes,
is that the guy who sings for you most of the time?
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
He's class. He's really good. That's like doing that. That's like rubbing your tummy and doing this. And
he spent his life on cruise ships, playing fucking 7 sets a week for 6 months in a row. You know. He's fucking.
No way.
He's been
I've got a lot in common with him then.
Yeah. That's the ultimate tour, isn't it? The cruise ships.
The ultimate tour. Fucking. Was it 7 gigs a week, one after the other, no break? You know, fucking 2 gigs on a Sunday.
I know a few chaps who do that. I know a few chaps who do that.
Yeah, it's
and that's a tough gig.
It sounds like
that's a tough
torture,
gig.
You know. But that's all been curtailed now. But thankfully, he's around to play drums with ourselves, and we're having a fucking time of our lives with him now. But yeah, man, we have to organise something because I have a feeling that
oh my god,
it'll be a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah,
there'll be a drop in weirdos over. They'll all
get weird very quick, yeah.
In one spot.
Worth it for the backstage footage alone, I think.
Get us down to Cork and we'll get you up here.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm shocked that you haven't fucking toured already together. I'm shocked.
It's because we've been in the same circles as far as I can see. But I was when Richie said was filling in about you, I was convinced that we'd play it together, but no, hasn't happened yet. But I think it's only a matter of time, and the sooner the better.
Sooner the better, yeah.
Particularly post-COVID, I think it's going to get.
I think so.
How did you settle on the name Lugosi? Like, I mean, there's some fucking great bands that have names from horror movies. You know, Black Sabbath, My Bloody Valentine, fucking White Zombie. Who made that choice?
Well, it's like Brian Clough would say. I get together with the players, and then we both have a discussion, and then at the end of it, whatever I say goes. So I said to the lads, "Okay, we're called Lugosi, or else you're out."
Brilliant.
It's a brave choice. It's someone that knows. It's such a brave choice. It's a very brave choice.
He was just an incredibly, in some ways, bad actor, but also iconic in every role that he was ever in. I mean, you could probably say the same thing again about another actor I really love, who's Clint Eastwood, who was only ever Clint Eastwood in a movie. So, I can watch Bela Lugosi from dawn to dusk. Mostly dusk in a field on my own. That's my kind of vibe. Bela Lugosi, love him.
And I love the way there's a few themes going through your past album and the new album as well. Let's talk about that for a while, since we're getting to it. The title is Video Nasty. We can reveal that, and it's a great title because we all come from the video side of things. We have that age upon us, and just brought back some great memories straight away. It's a great title of an album.
VHS 80s, back of a fucking car, pulling up in a hatchback, pick out your video, give me a $5. Fucking here we go.
Yeah. Here, what were you getting?
Well, it depends on how much money you had, you know. If you gave him a tenner, you got a bottle of lemonade and a bottle of lube with it.
I'm glad you said lube, not a hand job.
I couldn't afford the hand job, Richie.
A bottle of red lemonade and a
Christian brother.
Debbie does Dallas a bottle of red lemonade. I know how you get on and down in Cork. I know what you're up to down there. Believe me. We heard about it up in Belfast. I came with street bowls, and I don't know. Do you play street bowls down your neck of the woods?
No,
it's called bowling. Bowling. It's just called bowling. Yeah. You just throw a fucking bowl up the road. Is that what you're on about?
Ball up the road and hope for the best. Yeah.
Street bowls. For fuck's sake. Where are you going with fucking street bowls? These guys. Fucking hell. Alan. Alan, have a chat with him. Street bowls.
With fancy names for things like that.
Bowling. You fucked the ball down the road.
Street. We play like we play like a similar version, but we play with a small mallet and like chrome balls in a very small, well-trimmed area. A cul-de-sac, maybe around Dublin.
We're not
Jesus Christ.
We were talking about the album. They're not going to street fucking bowls. But anyway,
but that's the name of my next album, is Street Bowls.
That's a fucking great name for an album, Street Bowls.
I'm actually not sure how the fuck we got onto street bowls, actually. I'm not sure.
Back to the business as hot. Richie,
video nasties. We're on about videos.
You're 100%. Yes.
Still not sure how we got onto street bowls.
So I was watching a video about the people of Cork playing street bowling.
Fucking bowling.
I decided to.
Jesus Christ. We'll be fucking shot.
In all honesty, I had the. I had the concept early doors. VHS. We will be releasing some of these in a VHS box with all the artwork in there. Fuck. So the box and the CD case looks like an old VHS video.
I'm on it. Keep one for me.
I lived in a video shop as a kid.
Awesome.
Deadly, man. Yep, I've got one of those. Yep.
Set it aside, cash.
So I lived perfect. I lived in the video club. I was in the video club 3 days a week, and then also during the day, like when Mum was working in the music library in Belfast in town, I'd be going and getting the worst B movies and the worst slasher films, and sitting in the house, bottle of Buckfast at the weekend, and there was no better feeling. There was no better feeling. A bit of Sabbath early doors, and then a shit movie. So I wanted to try and get that feel into the album, and we had several songs that JM had kind of already from his band that he played in America, Red Skull. So he'd written a couple of songs years ago. I hit a little bit of a vein and started writing a lot of heavier stuff than we did before. Chunked them out on my see-through plexi fucking guitar, tuned way down. Give the riffs to Alan. Went to track mix, and luckily we're able to do it before the world came to standstill.
Wow! So it was literally, was it in between two shutdowns, Alan, or where was it?
Yeah. We our first recording session was it was the weekend, 2 days before the first lockdown.
Okay.
So, technically, we should have been responsible citizens and not got anywhere near it. Yeah. There was like no difference between Sunday and lockdown Monday. But we went in anyway because we're fucking mad bastards. It's still safer than fucking Cork street bulls. No, we weren't going to.
You've got to be careful of that street bull.
But
Lee Road Throid.
Always for Michael Richards. I spent the last 2 years studying sound engineering, and it's going to take a lifetime to be half as fucking good as Michael Richards. Apart from clearly he's a master as well. It's great going to the track mix because he's got a massive selection, and actually he, between the first recording session and the second recording session, which is in the middle of another fucking in between lockdowns, he bought a vintage Marshall amp. I haven't gotten along ever since I bought it. I haven't gotten along with Marshall amps because my particular guitar, it's very powerful fucking pickups, the Birchbooker pickups, a lot of drive there. Normally you can just crank your amp, and whatever overdrive you have in your amp is enough, just with those particular pickups. It seems to be too much for Marshalls. Anytime I go to a rehearsal studio or plug into someone else's Marshall, it comes out as muck. But that's modern Marshalls. Marshalls have gone they haven't gone great. I normally use an orange TH30. Anyway, Michael bought this fucking vintage. What was it? JMC 800, I think it was.
Oh, JCM 800. That's what I use myself.
Oh, what an amp!
They're a fucking magical amp.
And with his rig, he was able to reamp the guitars, and it was just magical tone. It was exactly what I was already happy with the tone we had because I went through. He's got an Eddie Van Halen fucking head in there, the 5150. Is it 51?
Yeah, EVH.
Yeah, EVH. I have a terrible memory for numbers and names. My history exam, shocking. I had to fight the Earls in 1916 going to fucking Portugal.
Just
so anyway, it was
a just evaded potential disaster there. Sorry.
Well, I think it was EVH 5150, and that was sounding fucking great. And he has his Kemper amp modeler as well.
Oh, so the profiler thing, yeah.
Yeah, you can dial in a load of fucking amps, and it's funny. You give Michael a few little clues, and he's like, "I think I know what you want," and he brings something up from his archive and match it up. But anyway, yeah. We reamped, and like I said, yeah, Neil's done a lot of guitar playing on this album. Like when we're playing it live, I'm gonna have to play it. But like, as I said, I have that straight lace blues background, whereas Neil has that Iron Maiden fan where it's all over the shop. So I wasn't 100% sure I had the timing right on certain elements of the riffs. So I was like, Neil, you fucking play it. This needs to be right. It needs to be on the album as you imagined it. I can play along with the album later and get those little nuances down exactly. But let's record it exactly. So Neil's in there as well. With how many guitars did you use on it, Neil? You used your Gibson anyway.
I used, I think, I used my my Dan Armstrong, my SG, and my Les Paul.
Now, don't say this. His album's not all.
Actually, no. I'll tell you what.
All the lead is me, apart from our instrumental, where Neil, we both have it.
Yeah.
And of course, with the ones that are not weird phraseology, you know, that's me, of course, you know. Like Soylent Green, Vampire, what's their James, other one, the Ziggurat. Oh, sure. Sorry,
and
just,
it came from outer space. It came from outer space.
But you know what? It's something very important to me is that you need to serve the song, and you know, it doesn't fucking matter who wrote the riff. It doesn't matter who wrote the song. The song is fucking good and it fits into the album. Go with it. And if you don't have that fucking groove yet, which I hadn't got for a couple of Neil's fucking riffs, then it's like fucking here, dude. Here's the guitar. You fucking play it. Let's get this down right.
Yeah.
And
of course, you can achieve all that. Like, how much time did you put into rehearsing this before you went into the studio?
It was a good load, and we actually delayed recording, didn't we, to make sure everything was right and we developed the songs properly. And it really served as well. My song in there, The Vampire, that really grew in the rehearsal studio. And I had a pretty clear vision of it, but we needed to fucking trash it out in the rehearsal studio, and that worked really well. Like I said, you know, those...
Well, the transition where the transition where I played cello into the Vampire.
Yes. No trickery from Michael there at all. That was Neil again. Just bringing in another instrument. I had to bring the cello on my back on the motorbike. I don't even think he wanted fucking cello on the album. It was just to fuck with me. You bring this. Yeah.
It's a good lesson for people, though, is you got to put in the fucking work. You really got to put in the fucking work. You know, it allows you to improvise when you do get to the studio. You know, you can improvise with confidence. But people don't realize that. I mean, Jesus Christ, before we went to record last year with Shawnee, with the Magna Pina, we put in, it must be 9 months of practicing 5 days a week in some capacity to get up to speed to play live in the studio and then improvise over the top of that, you know. But you got to put the fucking work. You got to put the fucking work in, you know. People don't realize that. It's not just a case of you can fucking show up and just do your business.
I agree. You
got to put the work in.
As well as that, it leaves you room for what my friend Josh used to call the flavour crystals. You know, anytime if you show up and you know the song inside out and it's upside down and you can just fucking deliver it, that gives you a bounty of extra time to
exactly. Yeah.
There's a couple of things on from the first album, in the song Skinwalker. There's a few elements in that they were not written before going to track mix. But you know, we had the song well rehearsed and we fucking played it down, and then we were able to fucking go, hey, what about this little thing here and this? And actually, there's a little bit at the end of Vampire. Again, it wasn't rehearsed, but I just kind of like. I wasn't stressed out in the studio trying to get the thing down and get it right. Just fucking lashed it out, and then had this fucking idea, and I thought, let's fucking try it, you know. And everybody was like, no, that's fucking awful. And then Mike was like, here, give it a minute, give it a look. And then it was like, okay, yeah, we're keeping that in.
Would you agree, Alan, is that the benefit of working with someone like Michael, who produced your first album, and you've got familiar buzz with him, and then you go, and that's probably...
The
continuity, exactly. That's what I'm looking for, yeah.
Well, absolutely, you need to sound like yourself, you know.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, if you go to a different studio, there's a risk, you know. Okay, you might come out sounding a million times better if you move to a better position, but there's also the risk that you don't, you know. Obviously, if you move studios, you think you're going to someone better, but you can end up sounding different, and that can be off-putting for people.
So, what are the strong points of Video Nasty in comparison to Rise from the Grave then?
Preston, do you want to say that one, Neil?
Yeah, it's a lot heavier. It's a lot faster. It's not like Nuclear Assault fast, but it's quicker than what we did in the past. But before, another thing, when we were going to see Michael for the second album, I could hear the songs that I'd written, but at a much quicker tempo. So like we went in, we recorded a few. I just wasn't feeling it at all, and I said, "Click it up, click it up, click it up," and the lads were a little bit reticent to do that, and then it just came to life. So that's another thing. If you are going to go into a studio and pay money, because everybody's skint, get your tempos down. Use a click. Don't waste your time trying to, because if you're trying to punch stuff in when you're it's all over the place. It's not like the albums that I listen to from the 70s where these guys have been playing on the road every day. Like, I listen to like rock, like Aerosmith rock. I'm a big Aerosmith fan. So was Alan. Early Aerosmith is like, I love it. Those guys were playing every day, hour upon hour, double shows, traveling everywhere. They were so tight, so they didn't really have to worry about their timing. That's essential. You have that down, and you play the songs at the right tempo. But yeah, the new album's a lot heavier. I think maybe there's a few hairs on the arm moments on this new one. A couple of really nice transitional parts, which we didn't have in the first one, because like it's not rock. We're not like, it's not Jean-Michel Jarre. We don't take ourselves too seriously. But at the same time, we want it to sound good. So there is a few parts on the album that that make you think, and you'll enjoy. I think you'll dig it. But
I love that.
it's not maybe a slapstick's not the right word, but you'll get it when you hear the album.
Somebody, a lot of people said that what they like about us is that we're fun and we don't take ourselves too seriously, and to an extent they're right. But at the same time, we still want to do something really good. I love that I'm not giving no giveaways here. That single, the Ziggurat. I love that we did that fucking breakdown in the middle of that. Some.
Well, it's actually called "They Came from Outer Space."
He's right. They came from outer space. We've had a few names. So, Brendan, thanks.
So, Paul, keep going anyway, yeah?
Yeah.
I will keep going, yeah. So, we put those in, and actually, just a little thing to work with Michael. You learn to show up fucking prepared. He doesn't suffer fools. And he'll tell you what he fucking thinks. He won't hold back. So I often wing my guitar solos. It's funny, I've always, okay, there's another thing for the list. I can't remember names, I can't remember dates, I can't remember the other thing I can't remember. And I can never remember guitar solos. So every gig we did up until we recorded that first album, I was just making solos as they happened. Strangely, once the solos were laid down on the album, I then learned them off because I was quite happy with the solos and I wanted to reproduce that. So then I went and learned the fucking solos of the first album after it was recorded. So then, but going into the second studio session, not to be shown up and sorry, nothing prepared, stuff. You play over the fucking 10 or 15 times, not on. So I went in with my solos prepared and just not yet.
Always helps.
Not giving Michael opportunities to give out to us.
But I think that's a very valid point. And I'm glad, as I said, that Howard is here tonight, because the Magnapina are a fun band, no more than yourselves are a fun band. But what people don't see is the fucking seriousness behind the music.
100%. Because that's the vibe I get off you guys from the listening. It's tongue in cheek, but you've got your chops up to speed. You're not fucking around. You can play your instruments, and there's no one going to be able to question your musicianship. And we're a bit like that too. We really do put the work in.
Oh, thanks, Howard. Yeah.
Your playing has to hold water, and if you're going to go up there and make a fool of yourself, you got to be able to back it up with riffs and solos and fucking chops and licks and the whole lot. So when someone does come at you with criticism, you can kind of go, "Hey, I don't give a fuck," you know.
You do it. You try it.
Well, there's a great way to look at it. See, a joke can only go so far, but if you have like a comedic expert like Chaplin or Woody Allen, when they actually just they show some real pathos on screen.
Yeah,
I think it comes across way deeper than a normal actor, because you don't expect that, you know. But there is the amount of work that does go in. I mean, you guys are busting your balls 5 nights a week getting that stuff down, Howard. You know,
yeah.
We unfortunately with life we can't do 5 nights a week. Oh God, I wish we could. When we get this big major tour in the States, then the kids and the wife, they're away for their tea. I'm moving I get a bigger microwave. It's going to be brilliant. But
be okay with that if you get to the swimming.
I'm going to be playing street bowls out the back 24/7.
Drinking cans of Tenora.
Yes. But no, to get back to that thing, you have to have your chops down, and you know when you're sitting, those people don't see the hours you're sitting there going, oh, eureka moment, this sounds deadly, this breakdown's cool, this will get people, you know. I take my hat off to anybody who actually puts the time in. You could be the worst band in the world if you have real drive behind what you're doing. You know, I think a crowd, no matter where you are, can see that. 100%, you know, you may not be like fucking Rush, but if you put the time in and we are passionate about music. Every one of us is passionate about music. And I do think that people pick that up, you know, no matter, it could be tongue in cheek, but Alan, as you say, like we're not a joke band, like we really are. And I get the same vibe of Howard as well. Yeah. I mean, these guys aren't a joke.
No, fuck it, far from. But also, there's an experience. I presume you're all in other bands as well.
Plenty of experience there. Yeah, I've been playing since I was 14. Started my first band when I was 14. Nearly killed my best friend Bill. He was a bass player, and he got electrocuted and flew 5 feet across the room. And Bill was also a mess. So we thought he was. I was annoyed because he picked up my guitar and his bass, and then it looked like he did it deliberately for the crack. He kind of and falls on the ground. The bass and the guitar are across his chest, and he's lying there not moving. And we're like, Bill, stop fucking around. You've probably scratched my guitar. It was a Sun Mustang that was worth £98. But it was the only guitar. But Sun Mustang, Strat style. But then I heard this sizzling sound, like bacon on a frying pan. I was like, ooh. And then we saw a puff of smoke, and Bill's hand was taking in electricity and burning flesh into the neck of my guitar.
Fuck!
I never got rid of. That was my first band.
You kept the guitar, yeah.
And then it was very. And then at one stage I decided.
Tried to sell it to me.
Yeah. We were calls. What the fuck?
There's a bit of Bill on the guitar. Oh, fuck me. Sorry, Bill.
Then I decided, right, I needed a leather jacket and a decent guitar, so I'm going to go get a job. And I got caught up in that job. Because I was a dedicated musician.
And he killed a man.
Jesus Christ.
Work was nothing. It was just like fucking living for music. And I said, but yeah, I need a leather jacket and a decent guitar. And I got caught up with this job, and things went various directions, took me away from music. But then back in my 30s, I got back into it and started The Hungry Souls, which was a blues rock type thing, you know. And I did that for 5 years with the amazing singer Connor Clancy. I met Connor at Neil's house. We were having a Christmas party, and Connor's playing guitar for everybody and singing a few songs. And I was like, I need a second guitar player, somebody to.
Well, should we firstly say who Connor is related to? Maybe.
No, he doesn't like to talk about that. But
more reason to fucking bring it up.
I was working up to a joke there. We're going to blow some sunshine.
Yeah.
I needed another guitar player to fill in the blanks while I did some absolutely fantastic solos. But then after a few rehearsals, I found out that Connor was a fucking amazing fucking singer. His range. When me and him play together, we run an open mic night together. When it's me and Connor, we're both similar kind of stature. So I call us Tenacious Dub. Connor doesn't like that. But Connor has the same vocal range, if not more, than Jack Black.
Wow.
Down and right up. So it always a pleasure working with Connor. And even Neil,
good guy.
Kept, much like Spinal Tap, we kept losing drummers. Neil played drums for us for a while. That was interesting. Actually, one day we're at rehearsals, and he said, "I don't think we should do this song anymore." And I was like, "Well, what's wrong with it?" He says, "I don't find it interesting. I'm not enjoying it."
He didn't do a Paul McCartney on it. Did he show fucking Jimmy how to play drums? You didn't, Neil.
Showing his versatility there, you know. He was.
Yeah, Jimmy is the second best drummer in the band.
Oh my God,
he's a good guy, you know.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Lovely dude.
He's the only guy we haven't mentioned.
And JM is related to him.
So Jimmy did all the artwork on both albums.
True, actually. Jimmy's amazing.
Amazing graphic artist.
The artwork is fantastic. Actually, it's one of the things that caught my eye straight away. It's like, this is class. It's got that aesthetic I can dig.
Oh, thanks, Howard. He will love that. He's an amazing artist and a fabulous drummer, and we love him. It was his birthday 3 days ago, and he was 50.
Oil on canvas.
So we're getting up there.
What you say, Alan? Oil on canvas?
Yeah, Jimmy's a great artist, and he does oil on canvas. He does these beautiful fucking landscapes. He's up on Instagram if you can find him, Jimmy Rooney, artist.
And not only, I love bands like you because there's so much talent in there and you're modest enough to hide it. Alan does all your videos.
Yeah.
He does indeed.
Fuck's sake, like.
That happened by accident. I was running the open mic night and we had a lot of talents coming in that I thought was amazing. I thought, we do something to help these promote these people. So we started recording the performances and sticking them up on SoundCloud. About 6 months later, we said, "Fuck it, we make some video." So I started making these iPad videos. And then one of the guys was using our video to promote himself, and I thought, that's not fucking good enough. The audio is good because Connor was capturing the audio, but the video is shit. That's not going to look good for him. So we got a bit of money off Imro to buy some SLR cameras, so then we could do the HD videos. And
whoa! Pause. You got money off Imro? Did I hear that correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some fucking man. Go on. Jesus.
I don't know. I caught them on a good day, but it came out of their advertising budget. Because I was saying, this is to help people promote themselves. They're using video to promote themselves, but the video looks terrible. Can I upgrade my video? And they were like, "That's fucking great. Yeah. I have X amount left over." I think he was coming to year end, and he had some budget to spend, so it gave us the money. And I just fell in love with photography and videography doing that.
Yeah.
Although I was already a big movie fan, I love the Coen brothers.
Who doesn't?
One of my favourites for them is Raising Arizona.
Yes. So you look like the bad guy out of it, actually.
What a movie! He does.
A grenade around your neck, like.
I used to have a grenade, but I love all that where they're doing weird angles or super walls.
Yeah.
I love all that kind of stuff. So I try and bring a bit of that into the film, into the video making. It's great fun to do. It's nice to have the output.
Alan, didn't I come across you? You were, this goes back probably 2 years. Were you trying to fundraise something and you got in contact with me, or it was in relation to some, I know your memory's shit.
Oh, here we go.
Trying to fundraise.
You filmed something and you were looking for people to throw some money towards something or other.
Probably street ball now or something.
Street ball documentary.
Street Ball the movie.
I made a documentary about the open mic scene.
That's it. Yes, that's how we met.
And yeah, what we did at the start of the lockdown, we did a screening of the film. People would throw some money at it, and we gave the money to the artists that were in the film who were out of work. A lot of them didn't need it. They're like, oh, I'm doing something, I'm working. So the 6 or 7 lads who are full-time musicians now, they got a few quid out of that. It's funny though how many people watched the film and paid nothing.
Well, there's always those, yeah.
There was a woman that went on. She was a big fan of what's his name? One of the lads, and she threw fucking 50 quid into it just to watch the film. And the money was going back to these lads, so she threw 50 quid at it.
And how it's brilliantly fucking filmed, and it's a credit to you. How is that still available for people to look at?
Not at the moment. I'm still trying to get a distribution deal for that. That's the best way, or I'll try and get it onto Netflix. But yeah, eventually, if that doesn't happen, I'll put it up. It'll be, I might put it on because again, I want it to be, again, like I said earlier on, the tide that lifts all boats. I'd like to make some money from that and give it back to the artists who are in the film. That's a fucking dream there, you know. I need to get my money back that I spent making it. But after that, we'll do a profit share. So I might do the view on demand thing that they have on Vimeo. You pay 2 quid and you watch it, you know. It's a feature-length film, chock full of beautiful fucking music and great art.
And beautifully filmed as well, to be fair.
Oh, thank you. But you know what? It's only done because of the fucking people that were in it. Those fucking people come to our open mic every month, and it's the first Wednesday of every month, and every open mic night, I'm going to laugh once at least. I'm going to fucking cry. I'm going to be moved. I'm going to fucking wiggle my hips a bit and fucking tap my feet a lot. And that's just the music end of it, you know what I mean? There's this spoken word artist coming in as well. Only they inspired it to fucking happen. So, you know, they need to get something back out of it if possible.
Like, I mean, like as musicians as well, we can all understand how important it is just to interact with your audience. I mean, I have yet to see, I know he came down to Cork, was it last year? Or was it 2020 maybe?
Earlier,
Richie, at the minute, I can't tell you. I think it was at the end of the year before, to be honest.
I think it was
whatever year the hell that was.
I think it was January 2020 with the Audible Joes.
Maybe.
Audible Joes and Screams from the Attic. Yeah.
In Fred Zeppelin's.
Yes, it was Audible Joes. Yeah. That's right.
Really enjoyed that. A lot of fun.
That's crazy.
And was that your first foray down to the beautiful county?
Well, as a band, yeah. Been to Cork a lot. Great fucking city. Wonderful people. Shout out to Brian McCarthy if he's watching. Great, fucking beautiful human being. Good photographer as well. I think he's living up in Derry right now at the minute, last I heard. But yeah, first gig in Cork, and it was delighted to fucking get down there. You know, fucking Cork.
It was great, man. It was absolutely fab.
Great fucking people, but you know, Cork still loves the fucking guitar. You know?
Yeah, fact.
Absolutely.
Howard, I'm thinking like the Crane Lane, yourself and Magnapina, Lugosi and Magnapina, Crane Lane.
I think down to y'all, Richie. You know, then we start there, you know, and work our way west, end up in Clorglen somewhere.
Howard, did you ever play in Connolly's?
Connolly's
way
What? You haven't?
That's some place that we were trying to get an all-dayer before the pandemic hit, and it was in the pipeline, and it was something that was looking like it was going to happen. But I'm not with the Magnapina, no. I played there moons ago with other bands, but not in the last 5 or 6 years. But I know the guy running the place, Sam, and it's a fucking fantastic place to go down and play and just to see bands in. And it's a musician's pub, you know?
If people are watching this who've never been, if people have never been to Connolly's before, I'm not sure if I've got the story 100% right, but I think maybe the original owner had passed away and his kids have been left to run the place or something like that. I don't know. But the live stage area is pretty much untouched since like the late 80s. There's flyers up from way moons back. It's like stepping back in a time machine, and they do amazing pizza and amazing beer. So Conley's,
musicians pub, it's fucking great. It is. If anybody's into music in any way, shape, or form of any genre, just go in and check it out. Particularly guitar music, you know. It's it's a special place.
Yeah.
I actually saw Noel Redding.
You can smell it when you go into the place. You can smell it.
I saw Noel Redding of Jimi Hendrix Experience. Obviously, he had a band playing there, and they were just They were like
he lived up the road from it, sure.
That's correct, yeah. And they were playing fucking. They weren't playing the normal shit that you'd expect them to. You'd hope them to play. Just all this obscure fucking blues and stuff like that, and it was just great to be in his presence. But of course, the man was so up his own hole, it was beyond belief. Like.
My father actually played a few gigs with Noel Redding. He played the odd jam session with him here and there, you know. But a difficult human.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
He has a reputation. He had a reputation.
They all are, but those guys do that generation, man. Have you ever watched the Gingerbreaker Documentary?
Yeah, unreal. And that's exactly what Noel Redding is like.
The very first scene, like when the movie he just the very first scene, the movie maker, he's a young kid, he's a big fan of Gingerbreaker. And Gingerbreaker with his walking stick breaks his nose.
They don't make it like that anymore, you know. We're fucking.
They just had a different. They don't make them like that anymore. We need to get way more cantankerous in our old age.
You want a bit of fucking madness and a bit of, you know, uncertainty and what's this fucker going to do? And you want a black fucking eye when you come away from it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And lads, go on, Alan.
Actually, yeah, there is some. Go ahead, Al.
Can I fucking mention? You've probably seen Crow Black Chicken.
They're in the background there.
What a fucking band, and not awkward. Fucking very fucking nice fucking bands.
Do you see what I'm pointing, Alan? Crow Black Chicken.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
Deadly. Fair fucking play. I have one of a couple of their albums here.
No way.
And fucking hell, great fucking bass player, great fucking drummer, great guitar player.
Unfucking believable. I think
it's one of their son is in God
Alone, yeah. The drummer's son, yeah. Jake's dad is in Crowback Chicken. Yeah, I saw him with ZZ Top.
Wow,
Christy.
A couple of years ago. Fuck's sake, they're ridiculous. They're just solid out 3-chord trick, done fucking brilliantly. Yeah, what more do you want?
Yeah, that song "They Came from Outer Space" could easily be Crow Black Chicken.
Yeah, it's in the same ballpark. Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, I see where you're coming from there.
Oh, fucking 100%. And they love Clutch as well, and you know it's they're just a fucking brilliant band. For a 3-piece, they're fantastic live. So I'm delighted you can acknowledge him and give him a shout out tonight. Steve's got his own bass podcast as well, so it's really interesting as well. He's got like bassists from all over the world appearing on it. He's a fucking amazing bass player, so he is.
Right. And also, another fucking bit of recognition, Rest of Nation. Have you seen
Rest of Nation, yeah.
Oh, wow, bass.
Yeah.
Talented guys.
We kind of got used to them now that we're playing with them, but every time I'm standing there watching them, it's just like, fucking yes. This is what a person should be feeling in the audience at a gig. You know, a musician as well, someone who creates. When you're a creator, someone still fucking blows your mind. That's when you know you're watching somebody really fucking good.
They're still for that buzz. You still want to feel that fucking
amazingly
buzz.
Their unplugged stuff was fantastic as well. I love the way they just
amazingly talented.
Love the way they just broke everything down and went acoustic, and the songs are still as powerful.
Yeah. We like those guys a lot. We've played with those guys 3 or 4 times, I think now, and we just get on, you know. But they're a sensational band, and there's elements to me with a little bit of Faith No More kind of stuff going on there. I think they're a fabulous band. Actually, there's a few bands that I like. Can I mention Baleful Creed, who are like my buddies up in Belfast?
Yeah, of course.
When I was playing in Belfast years ago, I played Memento Mori, who were the I suppose maybe the band before Baleful Creed with John Allen. But if you ever get a chance, check them out. They're fab. If you like stoner metal, they're the business. Baleful Creed.
But like, Rim, are you aware like how big the Belfast scene has got over the last fucking 5 or 6 years? The talent coming out is ridiculous, isn't it, Howard?
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's ridiculous.
We must have had half of Belfast down at this stage over the last 4 or 5 years. Back in the days of the print shop here in Cork.
Wow.
There really does seem to be a little bit of a scene up there that's just bleeding into everything else down here. There's a really kind of a
connection between Cork and yeah, there is, yeah, fact.
You know, without a doubt, you know, fucking, it's like coming home, you know. Yeah. It's a long fucking way to drive too for the lads that do come down, but no one's ever complained. Everyone just had a great time, and fuck it, I think that their influence has been felt across the likes of Croza here and various bands like that. You know, we're definitely a crossover of influence.
Yeah, 100% there, man.
Yeah, we played up the north a few times, and we hopped on the train, and Neil was put in charge of the snare drum.
Oh. Can you fill us in on that there, Neil?
Let's just break this down. I actually don't think I was, because it was our drummer who should have been in charge of his own gear. But
fucking dead right.
We left the snare drum on the train. We left the snare drum on the train. Got off just before Lisburn, and then we phoned the train station, and they put it on the next train. So we had to wait beside the train station for our snare to arrive before we could play the gig.
How is that your fault, Neil?
That's another one we've got to shout out for. Is that was definitely not my fault. That was Jimmy's fault. Alan, you're saying it was me. Okay, fair enough. It may have been me. I'm not going to say it's not me, but it was me. Another shout out is Henry Clooney. God bless you. And the Stiff Little Fingers.
Oh, Stiff Little Fingers. Love fucking Stiff Little Fingers.
They were a mainstay down here in the late 90s.
Well, Henry's a friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah, Henry's a friend of mine, and we will. We've played with Henry several times, and we will again. The guy's a legend. I love him. You know, we're blessed with what we have in Ireland.
They came down to the marquee. They were supporting Dropkicks, I think. I could be wrong, but I think it was Dropkicks and Stiff. And Stiff Little Fingers were fucking outstanding. Outstanding. First time I ever seen them live. Brilliant.
They're savage, man.
Brilliant band.
Fuck, man. They used to play here in the mid-90s and late 90s a lot. They were down in Sir Henry's there, and they were going from like the Phoenix, and then you'd see them in a bigger venue again, and you know.
See, I was in Dublin at that time, Howard, you see, so.
Ah, yeah. They were playing about 4 times a year down there at the time. They were a fucking great band. You know, you'd be a kid and go in and see them, and fuck it, like, it was like, this is how it's done.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
The first time I saw Marshall Stack, I think, was different.
It is hard, yeah.
Great band.
It is how it's done, and it was done to such a level, and we should be so. It's, you know, there's not enough said about Stiff Little Fingers, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were a real influence on a lot of people.
Stuff. It's just you can feel the sweat coming off the roof when you hear that first album. You know, it's just monstrous. You know, inflammable material. If you don't have it, buy it.
Yeah, and they're all fucking stand-up blokes. Fucking been there, done that, man, and
guys
still fucking
doing it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable commitments as well. To be fair, like
we think we've done it long here, Richie. You know, we've been playing since 1996, and these lads have been fucking playing since fucking whenever, you know.
And they fucking still bring it. Like, that's the biggest.
Yeah, still
thing,
have that passion and energy and enthusiasm, and like the lads are saying, you know, when you go see a band, you still seek that buzz of just getting that electricity in the room and the fucking. You just spotting a guitar player rip out a solo and going, yeah, fuck, he knows what he's doing. Or a bass player just pulling something off that you haven't seen before, or a drummer doing a fucking thing. You know, you always looking for that buzz, you know.
We played it's 2 games.
We're all looking for that buzz now at this stage. We're all looking for that buzz.
Yeah.
Right now, we need that buzz more than ever.
It's becoming harder to find, but doesn't stop people looking.
I know I'm going to have to bring it up, but how did it feel releasing an album into this COVID-infested situation? Like, had you options to, first of all, hold on to it for another few months, or what was the thought process with leaving it out now?
Definitely put it out. There's no point holding on to it, you know. There's going to be other albums, you know. Why put it on hold? Just get it out there, and people are still looking for new music. They still need to hear, you know, fresh tunes. So fuck it, yeah. If it's ready and it's done, if it's cooked, take it out of the oven.
Right.
Absolutely. I just hope we don't hit a dry spell now on the fucking songwriting front.
Yeah.
But maybe, although we have a good start for the next album, because we're going to do 3 songs of mine that didn't make it onto this one.
Ah, class. Okay. Because that was my next question, was any of the songs that you were bringing forward for this album held back? Just didn't make because they weren't the right fucking vibe, or?
Yeah, no, I had a few. Like I've been.
Yeah. Well, for me,
I've been looking at lots of horror movies and using those for inspiration and reading books. Like Sleepy Hollow. I'm dying to do the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I have a song written for that.
Oh, class.
Yeah, it wasn't the right vibe for this album.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
Neil or Rim?
I have 5 tracks, guitar and drum down for the next one. So what I want to do is like do maybe a little short EP for the next release. Maybe even before the end of the year if we can get back in the studio. But I've got some cracking stuff organized. So yeah, it's a win-win. I think if you just like when you get the songs are coming, you've got to keep on to it. Otherwise, as Alan says, it's going to dry up and you'll be fucked.
Yeah.
But you've got to stay, because we can't play gigs. So the more you can write, the more you can think about songs. You know, the better.
Yeah, and also,
Howard, have you got some songs that didn't make the album?
that's what you do.
Oh, you talking to me?
I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you yourself, Howard? You yourself?
Yeah, Howard, have you songs that didn't...
fucking, well, you know, I've spoken about this on the podcast before. Just before lockdown, we went up and we recorded live over a period of 3 days, and we ended up writing a song in the studio. And then we went back and we did vocals in February, and then things closed down. So it brought it to a halt. But we've been mixing away and gotten it done. But in the meantime, like that, we just went ahead and wrote a small EP from our bedrooms and put it out there. But we're fuck it, Richie. We're 20 songs deep into the next 2 releases. You know, like we're fucking. It's ridiculous. You know, we've so much material, and we're trying to get this other thing finished up now to be ready when things go back, because we want to play on the back of it. But this is the album now that we spent 9 months rehearsing fucking 5 days a week, because we wanted to do it live. We wanted to do it live well.
Hold on a while now, you're talking about Magnapina or Partholon?
Oh, Partholon's a different beast altogether. That's the kind of thing. It's like a lumbering elephant that...
That's what I was... Sorry, lads. My mistake. I was on about Partholon.
Partholon's a lumbering elephant that's visited about once a month, you know? It's like... Yeah.
Did you finalize songs for that album, and is there songs put aside since that?
Yeah, like since the lockdown happened, it's changed completely. Yeah, I mean, we had an album written that we were supposed to record in March last year, and that's completely gone now. And it's 5 totally new songs since. We've demoed them in the last 6 months or so, and it's just totally different than what it would have been, which isn't a bad thing, I suppose, but we definitely missed a moment, but we captured something else, I think, you know. But it's one of those things where your attention to it it doesn't last, so you move on, you know. If you haven't got the opportunity to capture it, like, fuck it, move on, keep creating. It gets stale too quick, you know. I don't like revisiting stuff, but it's going to be a completely different thing than we anticipated at the beginning. Whether it's better or not, I don't know, but it's definitely different than what it should have been.
Fuck me. Okay, Jesus Christ. So, like, we're talking about nearly a year and a half period now. At this stage,
We're
2 years of those songs?
We wrote songs over the period of 12 months, like that now, about once a month, getting together and putting stuff together. And we came up with maybe 6 songs that were making the cut. And then pandemic happened and we started rewriting the bits and pieces and started thinking about it in a different way, in a different concept, and the different things like that, reading different books, watching different movies, getting different influences. And it just went a whole different direction. So it was a case of leaving a lot of stuff behind and just moving forward. You know, I'm a big believer in capturing a moment, Richie, and if the moment passes, you pass with it, you know? And I'm kind of glad of it in one way. Regretful in others, but, you know, bag of emotions about it. But fuck it, it's only music at the end of the day.
Sorry if you've already answered this, but where did you record your new album?
With Mark Lupina, we recorded it in Last Night Records in Temple Bar in with Shawnee Cadigan.
It was my studio instructor first year in college doing sound.
Yeah, he runs the college. Yeah, Shawnee, Shawnee the Clark man.
Yeah. And I saw. Seen either of his bands? Yes, I remember he brought his he bought an aluminium.
Yes, the aluminium guitar. We used it actually for a few overlays and a few solos and bits and pieces. It's a great guitar for pointing out your inaccuracies. So you have to be on your fucking game with it, you know. But yeah, we were
is that one of those American musical instruments guitars?
It was a Jag. It was an old Jag, I think it was a Jag Steiner or some shit like that, and it was an Israeli company. I'm not sure what they were called, but he put the neck on himself, and he's had it for years. I think he had it up for sale recently. Actually, I thought about buying it, but it's a funky guitar. It's one of those things that if you make a mistake, it sings out. Like, you really have to fucking nail your chops on that fucking thing, you know. But when we went in,
there's a really good guitar company, the American Musical Instrument Company.
I think it's the American Guitar Company is what it's called. Yeah, I think it's the
AMG. They're fabulous.
Yeah, they're lovely to play. This is a different company now, but a similar vibe on it, like. But lovely guitar for overlays and things like that. But it'll fucking show your mistakes up big time. You know.
How does your session go? I remember Sean telling me, he says, like, he was there one day and he's like, oh yeah, fucking great weekend. He says, I had a band in over the weekend, you know, we basically started tracking at 10 p.m. Friday night, took a wee break for some college on Saturday, and then back into the studio, 8 p.m. Saturday. We went through 2 crates of Guinness, you know, and we're all fucking falling out of here fucking 8 a.m. Monday morning. You know, is that...
I'd say there was more than fucking Guinness involved.
Yeah, you gotta have fun, haven't you? You know, you get the work done and then you have the fun. But we went in there and we had 8 tracks to do, and we got them all done on the first day. And so the second day was fun. We just went in and had a bit of crack, and we actually wrote a song in the studio called "Gay Burn Cosplay," and fucking spent a day working on that because we had the time to do it. And then we just started putting silly stuff on it just to see what, you know, having a bit of crack with it. Like, but we had it so compartmentalized beforehand and so rehearsed that it was just a case of showing up and doing our stuff. But working with Sean is a lot of fun, man, I have to say. But there was a lot of red eyes, all right, coming out of that fucking place at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know.
It's all right for a vegan.
Yeah. Yeah, we brought that up a few times, all right, you know.
A vegan producer.
There, he's got somebody for a vegan, you know. He's hitting.
You can't say that, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, the man's head will fucking explode.
He's the kind of guy that gets up at 5 o'clock and drinks a fucking shake and goes for a cycle, you know, and he comes into the 5 of us, Richie, and you can imagine the fucking state it was like. Yeah,
therapist. He goes into full therapy mode.
Christian lost his phone down the back of one of the fucking sound panels, and Shawnee was like, I've been here 6 years and I've never seen that before, you know. He took his phone out to take a group photograph for Instagram or whatever it was. And he took the phone out of his pocket and it went flying up over his fucking shoulder, up into the wall and down in between the fucking cavity, like. And then we spent longer trying to get the phone out of the fucking wall than recording vocals, like.
He also has to bring the balance. He's got to be a little bit the opposite of what the band is.
Fuck me.
He was a very good balance. He had he just pressed play, like he set up the room to record live and just let us loose, and we just went for it. I think we did 3 takes of every song and we were done by fucking 2:00, and then it was a case of having fun, you know.
But he set up his own studios now with Jubilee.
Quality.
Yeah, he's moved shop, yeah. You know, pandemic has slowed things down, but yeah, he's looking to move into some serious business, I think, you know.
Yeah, he did some job on the new Dread Sovereign album, man.
It's his ballpark. I think with Magdalena, it was a bit of a different thing for him because it's so far removed from metal and things like that. But when Sean is in his ballpark with things like that, he really does know how it should fucking sound, particularly guitar sound. You know, he knows what he's at.
It's that Dread Sovereign album great? I've heard some great reports about it. I haven't heard it.
Unbelievable.
It fucking sounds massive.
It's unbelievable, and I've been getting fucking grief because on the forums, Metal Cell forums, I've been slating people repeatedly for this obsession with vinyl. But this is a great story because I don't know if it shouldn't be said or not, but I don't give a fuck. I'll hang out Shawnee, doesn't matter. But so I decided to. Like, it was only €15 for a blue splatter vinyl of that album, Dread Sovereign, and it's outstanding. It's one of the best Irish metal releases this year, and I decided for €15 for the vinyl, I'm going to fucking buy it. I texted Shawnee going, purchase the vinyl, and he goes, yeah, so did I, but the drummer anyway went into Centra in Dublin on the session and forgot a bag of vinyl and left it behind him in Centra and just left the shop.
No.
Yeah, and I just went, because Shawnee went, you'll be lucky if you get that vinyl because there's very little left, and what was left was in the fucking bag in Centra. So I just went, for fuck's sake. But mine made it down anyway, and yeah.
That Alan, that reminds me a little bit of when we came back from playing up in Lisburn and we got back in JM. I said, JM, where have you got the shirts? And he said, oh no, I have no idea where the shirts are. So after the gig, we went back to this like kind of after party, and like we got it's a lovely family who like were big into Lugosi, so we didn't know where the t-shirts went, and then we got a picture sent over to us, and it was all the family wearing our t-shirts saying, lads, thank you so much. This is way too much. And but we didn't have the balls to say, actually, no, you need to post them back to Dublin. But everyone, even the kids, wearing these massive Lugosi shirts.
Lugosi bleeding Dublin.
So yeah.
Fuck me. Brilliant.
Lugosi bleeding Dublin shirts, all gone.
Jesus Christ.
And to a better place, I think, you know.
And do you have any...
I think you're right.
Has Jane or any of you got like any pre-gig rituals?
I just walk around with a big fucking stressed head of anxiety on me. You just can't fucking talk to me before a gig.
Right.
And it's not pre-gig nerves. It's I want things to go well, and I want it to do well. So yeah, it's a bit of fucking let's not fuck it up. After that, I'm fucking grand, you know. And a few Jack Daniels in during the gig. What else? The other ritual is just gonna snap at people like a vicious fucking dog. Set up.
Jesus Christ.
People fucking annoy me, you know, fucking with stupid fucking shit. Remember, what the fuck is... Where does this fucking thing go? and then other bands fucking getting on stage and standing over you while they're trying to derail.
There's nothing fucking worse, man, than a fucking band standing over you. Oh, Christ.
Oh, come on,
You know,
get
if
it
any
out.
fans are listening, if any fucking fans are listening that are playing with other bands, give them the fucking space to get their shit together. Just give them the fucking space. Don't stand there with your guitar strapped on waiting for them to get off the stage, or don't stand there fucking... Oh.
Here's another one, right? Here's another one that happened. It was annoying in a different way. Our good friend Jeff from Strangers with Guns. He got
Jeff Crosdale.
He was kind enough to say that we didn't open for them. It was a double header. Well, thank you, Jeff, for having us. But before our slot, there was an organised gig on, and it was some band, some fucking cheesy, middle of the road fucking pop, you know, with an attractive fucking singer, and everybody's wearing nice clothes, you know, nice casual clothes, and the guitars are jangly and sweet, and songs about love.
Jesus.
And 70% of the audience for that crowd, or for that band, was family members and friends and girlfriends. You know, it was an EP launch, and these guys had clearly spent months, years maybe, preparing for this shite fucking gig. That their whole family showed up and said, "Well, John, that's brilliant. He's always a great singer. You're a great singer. I did tell me friends, you see John there, he's a great singer. He's going to be famous someday. And you know what? That kind of shite going on afterwards." So they did their gig, right, and it was 45 minutes of fucking God, when is this over? And then all their family members fucking, you know, basically did a stage invasion, and the lads weren't sitting down. So I started de-rigging the fucking guitar player. And I was like, "Yeah, Chief, just want to give you a hand there. You know, we're on stage at 12. So, you know, we're playing at 12. So we've got to kind of set up now. So I'll get your gear backstage for you. You just de-rig all of this and I'll carry it for you backstage." He's like, "Oh, yeah, thanks, man." You know. And then I had to do the same for the fucking bass player and the fucking drummer just to get...
Jesus.
Can I word on this? Just to get the cunts off the fucking stage.
Language, Timothy?
Yeah.
You can use as much language as you like. It's a fucking emotional subject.
That was famous.
Well, just again, hats off.
It is an emotional subject.
That's our first Weakness gig, and also for bringing out a song called "Cants." You know, that's a stroke of fucking genius.
Brilliant.
You got in podcast 119, wasn't it?
Yeah. Cants. Yeah, that's fucking a classic. Yeah. Big shout out to Jeff and the lads. I fucking love what they're doing. They're another band that nailing it in relation to kind of alternative rock metal, but I mean they've their feet in both camps, but what they do is fucking great, man. It's great.
Lovely guys.
Yeah, but have you any pre-gig rituals, Neil?
Is Jeff the singer?
Jeff's the singer, yeah.
I remember when we played with Stranger with Guns, just I'd never met them before, and I'm a big boxing fan. I used to do a little bit. I follow boxing, and Jeff's quite a big dude, isn't he? Quite a large guy. And as soon as he rocked up, he went, "Here, you're the lad that likes boxing," and I said, "Yes, I am." And he was kind of towering over me, and I actually thought it was about to kick off.
Jesus.
Is he going to throw one at me here? But it didn't. He's a lovely guy, and they're salt of the earth, lovely guys. Pre-gig rituals, I don't know, just just rock and roll, Jack Daniels and Coke, and then try not to trip over my own lead. And if anybody's on stage when I'm there, give them a good boot up the hole, basically. But no, not particularly. JM maybe more. JM, you could probably find him reading a book somewhere. He's a way different cat to us. Like, he's a very cerebral kind of guy, and he's he'd be maybe the guy to talk to about pre-gig rituals.
He's in control of Thurman as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to be fucking drunk approaching that Thurman, man.
I remember one of my pre-gig rituals actually is trying
first
fucking alcohol intake. It's like, you know, "Yeah, Jimmy, can I get your next drink?" And then I'll go for a fucking 10-minute walk, go to the Jack's. Maybe I'll go and get a kebab before I go to the bar and get a drink, because it's just fucking. I don't want Jimmy going. Jimmy is not that he's a pisshead. He's just like, if he comes early, it's just like, yeah, whatever, doesn't matter, and he drinks, you know. Go for Jimmy.
The first gig that we played with the theremin was in the duck, the wild duck down in Temple Bar. Oh, yeah. And Barry Hardigan, who looks after us, got up on the stage, and we'd set up the theremin, and he said, "Now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to announce the triumphant return of Lugosi." And just as he stepped off the stage, his foot had wrapped around it, and the theremin went boom right up the stage. I just started wailing, but somehow it didn't break. But the theremin's deadly. When we were up in when we were with Michael up in Track Mix, he'd never recorded theremin before. So like he was watching. It's obviously quite a physical exercise using a theremin, and JM kind of attacks it like this, and he's doing all these kind of movements. Michael was just sitting in his chairs going, "This is the best thing I've ever seen," and he was like texting all his other engineer type friends, going, "Look at this guy's doing in my studio." So yeah, but he's nailed it. He's actually a really good theremin player. If that even is a thing. Have you ever tried to play one?
I'd love to fucking do it.
Try is the fucking word. Yeah, I mean, had fun with it, but trying to get some sort of melody going is it's a difficult fucking thing. You know, trying to get it in key to what you want it to be. Yeah, it's a real standout instrument. It's by itself. It's very hard to marry with a band. It's very hard to put it in context, you know.
But it's perfect fit for Lugosi's sound, you know what I mean? Because we have
for that
VHS
horror, Video Nasty.
Yeah, it's absolutely. And I presume there's way more on this album than the last album.
I think it was maybe used once on the last album. It's one of those ones. It's a bit. I mean, if you overused it, you'd be left going to the album. It's just. They just bought a theremin, you know. So you've just got to throw it in when you want to, when you really think it'll help.
Yeah.
But it's it's a fabulous thing to have. It's all over the new album, and he's really, really good at it. Mm-hmm. That's obviously just hours of just smoking like Jamaican Woodbines and on his own, with his cat in his knee, just flicking at it occasionally, possibly throwing his cat at it. JM also, he will watch this. JM recently bought a cat, right? Have you ever seen a really big cat? Like a stupidly big cat?
I have one.
This thing is about that long. It's about that long. It's this big black thing. It's like a panther. And it's on our back. I just got a puppy recently, and I've been like bringing the puppy up to look at this thing, and my dog is shitting itself. This thing is I'm going to write a song about it. This thing is a fucking beast.
Actually, we're still Christ. Like it's just one of these shows, and that's just the way that the Metal Cell podcast is. Can you explain to me what 1313 Mockingbird Lane is about?
Yep. So I wrote that song a good while ago. It's growing up. My favourite show ever was The Munsters. I used to watch that show on Channel 4 with my legs over the couch, with my shepherd's pie on my knee, and just fucking loving that shit. And I often thought, like, this is great, but is this like their reality? Does everybody else see them as being totally horrendous and horrific? And their address was 1313 Mockingbird Lane. So you may think you go into their house to have a lovely day of fun, and it's all going to be a bit tongue-in-cheek and great crack. But if you're a human, if you're walking into that, it's going to be a bit fucked up. Do you know what I mean? So I wrote that song all about that, that it's not all puppy dogs and ice cream. That 1313 Mockingbird Lane is probably going to be the most terrifying thing you've ever seen in your life. So, I mean, what they're saying in the show is like what they imagine it to be, and everybody's having a great time. But no, it wouldn't be. If you were going into that house, you'd be fucking freaked out.
Yeah. And I must say,
so that was the thoughts behind that song.
And your current release then is Soylent Green, and that's a weird.
Soylent Green.
Yeah, that's a weird one for me because I didn't know I was interviewing you. Probably a week and a half ago, And I have a friend in work, and he's big into old movies, and he was describing to me a Charlton Heston movie about how all these people, it was set in 2020 now, I haven't researched this, but he said it was set in 2020, and Charlton Heston was in it, and I have to say it, that all these people were being fed this green protein, and they didn't know where it was from, but the makers of it were saying it was from plankton, and they were eating it, and of course it was made out of humans. So I was just going, fucking hell, that's an amazing concept for a movie anyway.
Concept?
Yeah. And I was going, wow, okay. And he's there, you have to find that it's a 1970s movie. Charlton Heston, I went there, yeah, okay, cool. I'll check it out. And fuck me, within a week, Lugosi had released this fucking video called Soylent Green. I was just going, what? And Alan directed it and starred in it.
Well, Charlton Heston was in... Yeah. It's a bit like if you ever watch Little Britain when it's got Dennis Waterman and he's like, I wrote the theme tune, sang the theme tune. Alan basically directed, starred in, and played guitar on this video. So it's pretty cool. It's also the sign, if you watch it from start to finish, it's also a biography of a man losing his mind. Pretty much.
There's a hamburger recipe in there as well.
Alan, what does it say about me when I actually got hungry looking at you getting the fucking thing ready?
Yeah, I know the opening scene. I'm chomping down on jambons. The temptation was to play the hero from the movie, Charlton Heston, but it's like I have so little in common with fucking Charlton Heston, physically and mentally and morally.
Sorry to interrupt. Were you just away a second ago just to change hats? Because if it was, that's a brilliant move.
Fuck, he did and all, yeah.
Somebody was talking about Larry Hagman years ago. You remember Larry Hagman?
Of course, yeah, Dallas.
JR, yeah.
I don't know, it's very strange when you go visit Larry Hagman because like you come in and he sits you down and give you a drink and he goes, I'll be back in a second. He comes back and he's got a new hat on. And he every fucking 2-3 minutes he leaves the room and comes back wearing a different fucking hat. He's mad as a brush.
Are you taking the piss now?
Wow.
So I liked it. No, that was apparently that's what it was like when you go visit Larry Hagman. He just like showing off his cowboy hats.
Oh, it wasn't on the series, like.
Which?
It wasn't on Dallas, the series that he was changing and...
Real life in his fucking house.
Sure, if you have fucking 50 cowboy hats, you'd want to be doing something like, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'd be one of those guys that would be
there.
You
would.
Yeah.
Oh, you would.
Yeah, you're going to have to have some excuse to wear them.
For Larry Hagman, you just don't give a fuck, It's like, I'm JR from Dallas. Here's a new hat.
Wasn't he in I Dream of Jeannie, that fucking...
It was also Michael from I Dream of Jeannie.
Yes, yeah.
That's the second time, Neil, you've done that tonight. We were having a good laugh earlier on. Richie,
what did I do?
Earlier on, Richie goes, when you had connection problems, Richie goes, maybe you should disconnect and join in again. And you said, do you know what? I'm going to And now Howard just mentioned Jeannie, and then you were like, yeah, but hang on a second. Wasn't he in Jeannie?
I gotcha.
Next issue, a synapse issue.
Yeah.
So, going out the weekend. This is going out the weekend. The album goes out.
Correct. Yes, it's coming out on the 12th. Yeah, so you're going to be launching Video Nasty on the 12th, and this will be coming out on the 12th as well. So this is the cover.
Sweet meat. And
Jimmy did that as well, did he?
Yeah, I had to.
He did.
I had to get. That's my arm, my wall, and my cleaver. That's my crushing cleaver.
You have a cleaver.
I have a cleaver. That's it's not real blood.
He also has quite an amazing cleavage.
The picture in the background, is that the Hellfire Club? Tell me, that'd be really cool if it was.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Fuck.
So That's how it shall look when you all get it. That's us doing our Duck Dynasty photo shoot.
It's like a wall for a free kick.
Love it. Can I see the back of it then, just on the back?
Yeah.
I'm struggling with the light here, but it's
No,
just
it's cool.
And
well, I won't be purchasing the CD, but I'm going fucking buying the... What is it? What's the special? The VHS?
The VHS box with the album inside it in the album sleeve in there. It's really
fucking
cool.
love it.
Really cool, man.
Fucking outstanding.
I don't know if you lads are aware, but we've spoken about this in the podcast before. The Magnapina have a second tape VHS for sale for €500, and we're hoping some motherfucker will buy it because it's a VHS of some random stuff that is worth your €500, and VHS never went away. It's coming back, and everybody should embrace this.
It is coming back.
This enduring technology. That is fucking here to stay.
New technology.
So VHS, I'm a big fan of it. I fucking love that you're doing something with VHS because I thought we were on our own there for a while, but no, great. More VHS, the better.
It's like the X-Files.
Next album
they
is
are out there.
100%.
we might do a package which will be the VHS.
Next album's 100% Betamax.
VHS set with the CD, a little thing inside it, a t-shirt, a hat, and a lock of Neil's hair, and a signed broken drumstick from Jimmy.
That's it, man.
Breaks a lot.
Are you guys going to release it on vinyl as well, or is that something that's not going to happen?
Down the line, mate. Down the line, it's just, as you know, it costs an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
And if it was me with them, I'd probably end up leaving them in Centra. So it can't be left to me. But yes, we will do something with that. We're planning on that. Even if maybe the next single might be on coloured vinyl, red vinyl or something. But the thing about Ruined Vibes over in the States is they are predominantly a vinyl-based label, so we need to, you know.
That's good.
So that'll be
good.
Probably the next thing we do.
I'll have to fucking splash again, man. Jesus Christ. My reputation's in shit. My reputation's in shit. So, let's give it up for Lugosi, lads. Alan and Rim, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. By the time this episode is going out, Video Nasty will be released, and it is, I've listened to it, Howard listened to it, it's a fucking great album, man. It's
fucking 10 out of 10 stuff.
10 out of 10, man, definitely, and it's what we need, man.
Thank you so much.
You're doing fucking a great job. You put in the effort, and the reward is for all of us to enjoy it, man. So I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
For that, lads.
I heard hints that.
But you know what? To get that from you guys is tremendous for us. You know, it's we hope that a lot of people like this album. I hope it does well. But just if we sell fucking 2, if you love it, that's what I'm all about. If you guys really like it, that means a lot to me and a lot to the band. So.
Alan, what were you saying?
I heard the Renaissance happened just after everybody was locked down for fucking 2 years during the Black Death. Is this the beginning of the second Renaissance? Would it be good enough for that?
I think it's the VHS Renaissance is what I'm looking for. You know, let's go back 20 years. And
Alan, if you go past my fucking road on a motorbike with flames coming out of it, holding Video Nasty up in the air, man, it's good enough for me.
playing street bowl.
And we'll get the lads to move aside in the middle of playing bowling while you fucking drive past on fire holding up Video Nasty. How about that?
Yeah.
So you've been listening to
all the people of Cork.
Yeah, go on.
To all the people of Cork, I want to apologise for my use of the word street bowls. I'm a Protestant from Belfast. This is all new to me, so apologies.
More than fucking accepted. So you've been listening to Alan and Rim from Lugosi. Lads, again, thanks a million for coming on the show. Congratulations on the new album. It's a fucking killer of an album. 10 out of 10 for myself and Howard. And we will definitely see you in fucking
Our pleasure.
Cork either in 2021 or hopefully 2022. It doesn't matter. And let's hear it for a fucking Magna Pina and Lugosi tour.
It's going to fucking happen.
Yes, indeed, Magna Pina.
Cheers,
It is
lads.
indeed.